Losing my corgi. Hello, this is Sally Morgan, physical therapist, craniosacral therapist, and Tellington T-Touch practitioner for animals and people. This is Tristan. He's a corgi, and we're here for an episode of Conversations with a Corgi. I had to wake Tristan up. He was still sleeping. The snow was deep and heavy, scampering, and it was a lot of work for a short dog because it was wet snow. Anyway, we only got 4 inches, and it's still white outside, but it's clearing up, and we're having another one next week. Yay! Not yay. So today we're going to continue our discussion about trick dog certification and titles. And yesterday we looked at the novice level trick dog title, which, as I mentioned, if you have a CGC, Canine Good Citizen, then you only have to do 5 tricks. You don't get that break with the intermediate test. However, you have to do 10 tricks for this one. And some of them are fun and lots of dogs do them, and some of them are a little bit more difficult. So the trick dog title, again, it's a great idea to earn these titles with your dog to promote your breed, whatever it is. They keep records of these at the AKC, and you fill out a proper application form and have it signed by an evaluator and send it in, and they will send you a title. But they also keep on record which breeds have which titles, and these things accumulate, and sometimes when they're determining the most intelligent breeds of dogs or things like that, they'll look and see what breeds have done like herding instinct or smelling tests, and so scent tests, tracking tests, and find out, which breeds are good at which activities. So it is important to try to report this, and you can also do this if you have a mixed breed dog. You just need to get an identification number from the AKC. So let's look at what the tricks are that you can do for an intermediate dog. And again, you have to do 10 of these. And you can also do 2 handler's choice tricks as you could with the novice. So the first one is to balance a treat on the nose or on the head, i.e. dog biscuit. And Tristan has been learning this. My dog Comet was really good at this. He would balance it on his nose as long as you wanted, throw it up, catch it. He hardly ever missed. Tristan can balance it on his nose for a couple of seconds, but he's not so good at catching it. He says, my nose is shorter, it's hard, I haven't got the nose coordination. So you can balance a treat on your nose, and it doesn't say that they have to catch it. You can even just balance the treat on the top of the dog's head, and some dogs, they're so excited about the treat, they won't even let you put it there. The next trick is to carry a basket. And you might want to practice with a particular basket at home and use that with your dog. This is the beginning of a lot of carrying tricks, so carrying a basket is a good thing. The next one is to catch a soft toy or a ball. Many dogs are really good at this. This dog, Tristan, who passed his intermediate dog title test this weekend, he does not do catching of anything. But if you're a border collie, this trick's for you. Crawling on your belly must be 5 feet, and you may use a food or a toy to lure the dog. Fetch it has to be at 20 feet, so you have to throw something and have the dog bring it back to you. A game, you can have an interactive dog game, as the ones I showed you the other day, the brick and the tornado, and you hide a treat in there, and the dog has to find it. Just a note, if this is one of your tricks, bring that toy with you to the test. Because as I discovered when I was there, some of the things that Tristan does, they didn't have available. So if you have a dog interactive game, bring it with you. Go find, where the handler hides and the dog goes and finds. This can be a toy in this case, but you can train it by using treats. Go to your place, which can be a bed or a mat or a crate from 10 feet away. Again, if this is something you're going to test on, you might want to bring your own crate. We had a crate at our test that was just used by a lot of dogs, and if you were a few feet from it, the dog would smell the treats and go right in there. From 10 feet away, I think Tristan really needs his own crate. So if you're going to do that one, bring your own crate. The next one is hand signals for sit, down, come, stand, and you have to do 3 in a row. So Tristan was really at the top of his game for this test, and he was able to do come, sit, and stand. Corgis don't always want it down. None of my Corgis have been good at down. Maybe Winston. Jump through the handler's arms. So you make a little circle with your arms like a hula hoop and teach the dog to jump through your arms. Tristan does not like to do that because he thinks he's coming to me. So I've taught him to jump over my leg. So we did a handler's choice trick of jumping over my leg. A leg weave, or you can use weave poles. At this one, we had weave poles set up. However, they were by a big scary blower, and the examiner was very nice and let Tristan skip the pole by the big scary blower because he was terrified. But you can also just have the dog do a figure 8 around your legs. Paws up. This time the 2 front paws go on the handler's arm, not on a step or a box. Pull a toy on a string or a rope. If this is a trick your dog does, make sure you bring your toy with you because, again, they didn't have these available there. And lots of Corgis that live at horse farms have learned to grab the end of a lead rope and drag you and the horse along. So it's not too hard to teach a Corgi to pull a toy on a string, and plenty of border collies and other dogs used for tricks will learn this one. You have to push a button on a sound toy, play a toy piano, turn on an audio tape, etc. So what they had was one of those light up things where you push the button on the ground and then the thing lights up. So you can do that one. Roll over. This one is one of the ones Tristan did. He's not a great roller over. You know, they say with a horse, if you don't roll over to both sides, that cuts down what your value is because you have less agility and less athletic ability if your horse can't roll completely over. Well, is it because he's a Corgi? Plenty of Corgis roll over beautifully, but and that's part of their skill when they're herding cattle is to be able to roll and jump right back up. That's partially why they're shaped like a log. Not Tristan's best trick, but he did do a roll over. The shell game, which is find a treat under one of 3 cups. So no problem to find the treat. However, these cups were really round on the bottom. They were like the big ones that students in college use, those big red cups. And this examiner expected the dog to tip the cup over and get the treat. Tristan has not learned to do that very consistently. When we do our dog dance to Sherlock Holmes and I do the whole thing, we do have 3 cones and he has to tip over the cones in order to find the clues to solve the crime. Cones that are light and plastic and have holes in them are a lot easier to tip over than a solo cup. So you might want to bring your own cups that you've worked with at home that your dog can tip over if you're going to do the shell game. Sit pretty, which is sit up. One of my friends calls it trash can sit because the dog's sitting up like a trash can. I used to just call it sitting up. And also you can sit and tilt your head. Lots of Corgis love to sit and do this. So that's sit pretty. Wave goodbye. Again, I've got to learn to teach my dog the high five because then we can do wave goodbye, high five, and shake. 3 great tricks. So on this one, you get to wave goodbye. So the dog has to move his paw up and down. You can do weave poles, 6 poles, and you may use food or a toy lure for this trick. Wobble board. This is something Tristan's really good at, and a lot of people don't have these, and there are those dog bone shaped squishy cushions now that you can use. I use them here for my dog to stand on for balance and to use with some of the dogs that come here for physical therapy. And so really easy for a dog to learn to do this. He just has to walk up on it and find his courage, and you can easily practice it a few times if your dog's already walking onto a low balance beam. So they didn't have a wobble board though, so we didn't get to do that trick. And it's so funny that this whole facility didn't have a single one of those rubber dog bones. They had lots of other stuff. And then you have 2 handlers trick choices, and here's some ideas. You can balance a ball, open and close a door, ring a doorbell, run and get the ball from a fly ball box, something Border Collies and Jack Russells do quite well. You can do an automatic sit and heel. You could have done that one, Tristan. You can remove an object from a box or a mailbox. You can go onto a teeter-totter, like in agility, and another great one that Tristan does. Or you can heel with an automatic sit. Considering Tristan wants to do rally when he grows up, you think we would have done some of those automatic sits and automatic heels, but we did not choose those. So for this one, handlers may not use food or toy lures except where indicated, which would be for the weave poles and let's see, I think that might be the only one, except balance the treat on your nose. And crawling, you can use a lure. Other than that, you can't use the treat. You can use the treat for a reward. And then you also can use a clicker to reward your dog and give treats to reward your dog. So you do 10 of those tricks, and again, I'll just run through them quickly, because even if you're not going to do this title, these are fun ideas of things you can do with your dog at home to improve your relationship and also to just improve your dog's thinking and problem-solving abilities. And they're great, fun things to do, and lots of people can do this. And you can, if you don't have weave poles in your house, I always encourage people to just use some like drink bottles and just teach your dog to walk around them, because it's the same idea. And if you're just doing this at home for fun, you don't have to have the actual weave pole. Part of Tristan's issue with weave poles is that the ones I have that go outside are pretty tippy. And if it's the least bit windy, they start to lean over, and he's a little nervous that they're going to fall on him. Smart dog. So it's going to be a little while before he's confident with weave poles. And when that happens, we can do agility. Right now we have to run around the weave poles. So that's for the intermediate trick list. You have to do 10 of these. You can do no more of handler's choice. You can totally make those up on your own. So you can balance a treat on your nose, carry a basket, catch a soft toy or a soft ball, dog crawl on belly, fetch it from 20 feet. You can do an interactive dog game, but bring your game with you. You can go find a treat or food or a toy. You can go to your place, which is a bed or a mat or a crate, from 10 feet away. You can sit, down, come, stand, etc., 3 in a row from a hand signal. Jump through the handler's arms. And I don't know if they would, I guess you could do it as a handler's choice if you held out a short pole and the dog jumped over the pole. You can do a leg weave around your handler's legs. You can do 2 paws up on the handler's arm, pull a toy on a string or on a rope. You can push a button with a sound toy, a toy piano, or turn on an audio tape, etc. It would be so cute to teach your dog paws up and then to play on a toy piano. Roll over. The shell game, meaning finding a treat under 3 cups. I recommend bringing your own cups, and certainly your own treats, the stinkiest ones you have. And make sure your dog knows how to tip the thing over to get the treat, depending on your examiner. Sit pretty, which is sitting up with their front paws off the ground or tilting their head. Waving goodbye. Weave poles, which is 6 weave poles, and again, you may use the food or toy lure for this trick. Standing on a wobble board. And then 2 handler's choice tricks. You can add 2 more of your own or do any of those 10. So that's what you get for the intermediate trick dog title, which Tristan passed this past weekend at our fun Mayflower Dog Show. And it's a great thing to, as I mentioned yesterday, have an examiner come to your house and invite a bunch of your dog friends over and just do this for a good time. Or many places offer periodic tests. Lots of dog trainers are certified to be able to test on these tricks and on Canine Good Citizen. And it's a fun thing to do with your dog. And with the snow like it is here, we won't be going too much walkies for the next few days. So we may learn some new tricks. Right, Tristan? Tomorrow, like I said, I'll be at this Women's Business Association meeting in the morning. Is that tomorrow? Wednesday? Yeah. And I don't know what time or if I'll be able to do this, because that meeting starts at 7:15 in the morning. But we will, and I'll be at my job as an educator on Friday. So we will follow up here with some of the other tests, the advanced and the certified trick dog level, and continue to show you some of the fun things you can do with your pet. Thanks for joining us today. Everybody stay warm and happy and comfortable where you are, because boy, we're getting another snowstorm next week here in the Northeast, and that means rain for some people, and I guess it's hot in the South, although they said today that Florida was going to be freakishly cold. So thanks for joining us. And there's a new article posted on my website. It's about the third one down on the media page under the written section, printed materials. And it's an article that came out for Valentine's Day about the most snuggly breeds of dogs. I did not get to pick the breeds. I had a little bit of input because I added herding dogs to the list, of course. But they had the Maltese as the first one, and some mixed breeds are in there. And it's a really cute article, so check that out. It's on SallyMorganPT.com on the media page in the print material section. It's about the third one down. It's a really cute article. So check that out. We'll see you pretty soon for another episode of Conversations with a Corgi. Everybody have a great day.